I waited to turn the camera on so you don't get to see what I just saw. That house right over there, that's my neighbor's house. And there's these drains, this is Japanese style gutters. See one here? It has these wooden, in the States we have these curbs with gutters, but they have these. It's hollow down there. And there's these holes. And that's what the rain collects in there. So it's flat. Here's one right here too. And they're everywhere, along the sides of the streets. And these gutters lead down, well, I'll just show you. These gutters lead down to, they connect to larger gutters and sewers, and so to speak, and collect rainwater and deposit it in rivers. There's a grate right here, more commonly seen salad grate. They're all over it, because a lot of rain here, and the streets are well designed. They can handle the rain really well. Now what I just noticed, and started my little head thinking, was how this neighbor of mine was, she was doing something right here, in this hole right there. She was cooking breakfast, and I guess she had a pot full of oil, cooking oil or something, and she needed to get rid of it. She was carefully depositing the oil in one of these holes. You can hear the water down there, hear that? And she was carefully pouring the water from a cooking pot into the hole, depositing the cooking oil in. And the oil then flows over here, and you can see right there, it spills the water from it connects to a larger drain, and it spills into this pretty little stream right here. Now this stream, oh, there's the sunrise, doesn't it look nice? The stream only looks incidentally pretty. I mean, it's in fact quite a disgusting place. This stream is. This is right next to my in-laws' house. It's a very, very disgusting place. I used to play down there with Emily until I discovered just how littered it was with waste and rusted metal and broken glass and pieces of metal and just everywhere. You can't see it, but it's just filled with trash. Now, this is sensitive because I'm always hesitant to criticize my host country, but I guess I'm going to state it more as a fact. Because this reason this came to my mind was last 2 weeks ago I was in Australia with a group of elementary school students, and they were in a host family, a homestay environment, and the kids were telling me repeatedly over and over, they were down in Victoria along the coast, how the host families were taking them to the beach, and the kids were just astonished. Oh, there's the sun right now. Astonished at how very, very beautiful the beach was. They said there was no trash, there was no litter. It was just beautiful, clean white sand, no cans, bottles floating around, no broken glass, tire, fishing waste, whatever the heck may be. And the kids kept on observing this. They couldn't believe how clean it was. And they're right. By contrast, if you go to the beach here along Shizuoka, and just about anywhere, in the near metropolitan areas of Japan, it's incredible. It's like a garbage heap at the beach. I mean, there's trash absolutely everywhere. In certain areas, it's piled so high you can't even walk through. And people that have lived in Japan for a while and are familiar with this kind of thing, we all know that it's basically the case. And it's the truth in waterways as well. Waterways like this are just trash heaps. I go up into the mountains, as Softy Papa, and spend time up there. And I encounter it all the time in the mountains as well. Even in those beautiful, pristine places, there's evidence of trash and dumps. And I find, I've even featured them in my videos, places where people dump their trash over the side of the road, and they've been doing so for generations. Now, let me step back just a bit. This type of thing has been going on by cultures around the world forever. Basically, humans, the contemporary modern sanitary waste systems are a relatively new thing. In the past, people had to dump their trash somewhere. And even as a boy, I remember when we lived out in the desert, there were no easy collection facilities, and there was basically a village dump out in the desert where people would take and there was a spot, an empty spot. People would take and just throw their stuff. My family did it too. I did it too. I participated in that. And the stuff would scatter all around the desert. I'm sure it's still out there. So I'm guilty of it as well. But what I wanted to point out was that it seems that in the mind of people that we have this concept of there's the civilized area, and then there is the wasteland, and it's really an apt word to use because the wasteland is the place where you can readily dispose of things. And there seems to be a shift that occurs in societies whereas they begin to view the wasteland as something that's more that needs to be protected, something that's natural and a source of resource and beauty, and no longer wish to soil it the way that humans have done for so long. That seems to have not yet occurred in Japan. Japan still has the mindset or a lot of people in Japan still have the mindset that if you don't see it, or that it's no longer, that it's not a problem, and you can just get rid of things that way. I see people throwing stuff out the car windows, I see people leaving stuff at the side of the road. Even though the streets are relatively clean, Japan's a clean country, there's still a lot of people who are simply getting rid of their waste into nature, thinking that if it's not here, if it's not in the street, if the street's clean, if it's not in the street, that it's fine. And so, not a criticism, an observation. I guess a criticism as well. A criticism not just of Japan, but of any society, of any people that still choose to view wild places as a refuge for refuse. And I think that that's going to change here and elsewhere, and in my own country as well, more and more. Okay, now it's almost time for me to get to Family Mart and have a cup of coffee for breakfast. Well, a lot more later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. And have a great day at the Kobe event tonight, everybody. Wow, I wish I was there. Bye-bye.